and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought that I would just check in with you guys and say hello. In case you can't tell, I was not up for doing my hair and my makeup. So I just thought that I would have a really natural face-to-face with you and kind of fill you in with what has been going on in my life for the last few weeks. Some of my thoughts about the current situation, and that's it. So let's get into it. We were gonna go to France. We were supposed to go visit my sister-in-law in France, and we were supposed to leave on March the 6th. And we decided the week before, so the last week of February, we decided to cancel the trip because at that time, Italy was kind of starting to get really a lot of, there was like a lot of positive tests in Italy. And I kind of felt like because France and Italy were close to each other, I was concerned at that time about being quarantined in France, like something happening in France and Italy and not being able to get back to the United States, not being able to get back to work. So we decided not to go for that reason, mostly. The day before we were supposed to leave for France, they ended up closing the Louvre and closing Euro Disney. So it was really good that we decided not to go. So last minute, I really felt like I needed a vacation. So we decided to drive to Colorado and go skiing. So we went ahead and drove there. Skied for a couple days, came back, and while we were there is really when things in the United States started to get like, kind of exciting. So we actually started isolating like probably March 11th, around March 11th, 8th. So we've kind of been isolating for quite some time. I really feel strongly about the whole flatten the curve idea. I think that by now everybody in the United States understands the importance of not overwhelming our medical system, that the idea of flattening the curve is slowing the spread of the disease so that the hospital system can handle the number of ill patients that are going to be needing healthcare, ventilators, ICUs, etc. So I think that probably by now most people understand that when we talk about isolating, we're talking about no play dates, no, family gatherings, no, dinners with friends. Like those things all increase your chances of spreading the disease. So we have really been just the five of us. My parents are both 70. And are both kind of higher risk. So we have not we've done drive-bys at my parents' house. I've dropped groceries off, things like that. But like I disinfect them with Lysol wipes when I drop them off. And, we'll drive by and say hi, and we'll stay at the end of the driveway and we'll say hi to them from their front doors. But we haven't seen my parents in quite some time. Same with my husband's parents. And same with the rest of our family. So it's kind of a weird time. It's a really weird time. I am going to work, obviously. So in that way, I'm not isolating. But, and that is why I really have not filmed anything in the last few weeks. I had kind of planned, I had pre-filmed quite a few videos before I thought we were going to France to play all the way up until this week. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what's going on at work. It's been a stressful few weeks just in terms of my job. For those of you that don't kind of know how the medical system works and who are the people that are kind of, when they say the front lines, who are they talking about when they say frontline medical workers? Well, one, they're talking about ER doctors. They're talking about the doctors that are in the ER that see patients that come in off the street with symptoms. Those people are definitely on the front lines. They're also talking about critical care doctors. Critical care doctors in the United States can be kind of from a few different subspecialties. Some critical care doctors did internal medicine residencies and then did what we call a critical care fellowship. And many critical care doctors are actually anesthesiologists who did a critical care fellowship. So where I trained in Atlanta, most or many of the ICUs there are run by anesthesiologists. In San Antonio, where I practice, the ICUs are run by what we call intensivists, who are internal medicine doctors who did either training in pulmonology or critical care medicine. But because anesthesiologists are familiar with ventilators and are familiar with critically ill patients, we are kind of the backup to the critical care people here in San Antonio. So we are kind of expecting to be working with a lot of the really sick patients. here in the next few weeks. And so it's kind of been weird the last few weeks. It's been stressful in a way that I've not experienced in my life. While my job is stressful on some level, because every now and again I get really sick patients, or I get patients that are just higher risk for anesthesia, it's a very kind of predictable type of stress. And most of the time my job is not stressful, because most of the time it's just stuff that I've been trained to handle. And so I go to work and it's really enjoyable. I love my job. I do a lot of labor and delivery, and then I do a lot of general anesthesia. But like I said, it's just usually not stressful. So this has kind of been a very, very different few weeks for me. I have been pretty much inseparable, I'm not even speaking very well, inseparable from my phone. I am in a lot of Facebook groups that are physician Facebook groups that are closed. They're Facebook groups where doctors from all around the world are convening and discussing the disease and the symptoms and the presentation and all the different treatment modalities and what we should expect to see and how we should expect to manage it. And just addressing the disease and how we can all work together to deal with it. Also discussing PPE, personal protective equipment, and the different things that we can do to protect ourselves as well. So in that way, it's been weird because I usually am not stuck to Facebook. Like I'm not, sounds crazy, I have a YouTube channel, but I'm not a big social media person. Like I don't, feel the need to be on Facebook all the time, but I have been stuck to my Facebook page for 3 weeks because I have just been reading and reading and reading and reading in order to prepare myself for what I think is going to be, a very, very busy time with this disease in San Antonio starting in the next week or two. So, much to my son, my 10-year-old's chagrin, he's like, Mom, you never put down your phone. And I assure him that it is not that I'm not paying attention to him, it's that this is an unusually stressful time, and that I am trying to prepare mentally for what we're going to be dealing with here in San Antonio, I think, inevitably in the next few weeks. So work is really, really different. We've stopped elective cases. We have, obviously labor and delivery never stops, but all of the elective surgeries that I'm used to doing, putting people to sleep for, we are no longer doing. So we are only doing emergent surgeries. But they're very different because we really have to be very careful about anesthesiologists work right in people's airways. We are putting breathing tubes down in people's airways, and that means that if somebody has this virus and they're asymptomatic, I'm exposing myself all the time. So we are wearing like masks and goggles and face shields and gowns to protect ourselves, even in the cases that do not have known disease. But that just adds a whole level of like complexity to the job that we're like not used to. So that's one different thing. It's also different in that, again, I'm not as busy with elective cases. And we have spent like an inordinate amount of time just talking to each other, talking about how we are preparing to deal with patients on labor and delivery that might have this, or patients in the operating room that have it but that have not previously shown symptoms. What we are hearing is that many times people who are asymptomatic will look fine, but then you put them to sleep under anesthesia and they just, what we call in medicine, crump. They just do poorly under the general anesthetic. So there are just other concerns lately. So that's kind of what I've been doing, buying respirators online, buying goggles, like welding goggles online. I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out like the personal protection, the PPE situation, like how are we going to protect ourselves once masks and gowns and all of those things run out, thinking of ways to protect ourselves in that way. I have some amazing friends who have sewn me masks and like fabric masks, like amazing. One of my dearest, oldest friends dropped 3 off yesterday at my front doorstep, which I just appreciated so much. And so that's kind of the state of medicine right now. It's a really weird time. Like when we canceled our France trip, there was not a moment when I expected it to be how it is now. I could not fathom that things would be like they are today. I kind of canceled that trip expecting things to get bad in Europe, but somehow not expecting them to get bad in the United States. I think there are a lot of people that felt that way. So it's a weird time. And So those are my thoughts and feelings. I have not worn makeup this month at all. We skied for a couple of days and I just wore some mascara, and then we've been home and I've been at work, but I've been wearing all these masks on my face. So all I've been putting on my eyes is some eyeliner and mascara. I have not, this is the first time in a long time that I've spent like zero time thinking about makeup. It was Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I bought some mascara, my It Cosmetics mascara. Little else has interested me where makeup is concerned. And so I might, my kids are lying in my bed right now, so I might film a video. A dear friend was in Japan recently, and if I can get around to it in the next couple weeks, I'm gonna film a haul of all the beauty stuff she brought me from Japan. And then hopefully a week after that, I will haul a review of all those products for you. But I'm trying to get motivated to film videos for you. It's just, I'm having trouble going to that place. I just am really struggling thinking about anything but work right now. So, and work and my family basically are the two things. So I am gonna try really, really hard to film something for you guys. If my enthusiasm is not the same as normal, I'm gonna apologize in advance. It's a different time, you know, like it's a really different time. So I just wanted to let you guys know where I am, what is going on, kind of give you a sense of what's going on around here in my life, in my real life, in the life that I live like 99.9% of the time, because YouTube is really, it's such, this makeup thing is such like a teeny weeny bit of what I do. And, you know, medicine is such a huge part of what I do. It's so all encompassing in my life. So that is really taking up most of my like brain space at the moment. So I hope everybody is staying home, staying safe. I hope that all of your loved ones are staying home and staying safe. I am sending you guys all of my best wishes for health for all of you guys. And I will look forward to connecting with you sometime soon. Bye.